Alright guys, this isn't going to be a big video, I promise. Alright. But again, there are certain people in the room, Sarge, who struggles with direction when it's turning, basically. So my suggestion is very, very simple, right? If you think you're at a possible turning point, and generally, guys, turning points for me are minimum 15-minute BB bands during session, minimum 15-minute BB bands, usually 1 hour BB bands and 1 hour orange lines if it's running markets. If it's running, okay. Other than that, when it comes to after session, when it slows down, generally you'll see the 5-minute flipped BB bands come into their own, okay, because there's less momentum and the charts start to compact. You'll see BB bands coming in, and sometimes they go into a channel on the 15-minute time frame and on the 5-minute time frame, and the 5-minute BB bands come into their own then. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a few recordings and what to do. Sarge, Hans, Stephanie, I know you're not too good with HA charts, Stephanie, right? But all I'm asking you to do, Steph, right, is to look for your first trade, the same with you, Sarge. Your first trade must be a first flip, right, on the HA BB bands. Okay, whether you just use momentum then and the 5-minute time frame, or whether you use the 15-minute time frame and momentum, it's no problem. It's just that the first flip will always appear on the smallest time frame, and that is the 1-minute HA charts. Okay, so I'm going to show just a couple of quick recordings. Okay, and basically all you need to do, it's all about going with the flow, guys, right? MT is giving you lines, labels to understand that, right? But your first, it's like when you get a turning point, your first trade should basically be a first flip. Okay, and if you can understand that, I'm trying to pick a recording without any news, so just let me wrap this news on this one. You can tell there, because I don't want anything buggering it up. So we'll have a newish one anyway. Let's go with the 28th. I'll use a couple of newish ones. Right, so basically it's the first flip. Alright, and it's all up to how you see it as the first flip, as a turning point, basically, guys. As I've said, to me, you get messy, whatever markets, you'll see blues, 5-minute yellows about. Yep, yellows, blues about, but these are quite nice moves. So again, turning points and then go with the flow. Alright, so your turning point, you just say to yourself, right, well, I need a flipped HA BB band. Okay, and before we go any further, I'll just leave it running, but before we go any further, you see the GU here, it's a flip down 15-minute BB band, right? That was the first move there. Basically, a flipped HA BB band is just a second move. You can see it there. First move, then the pullback. This move here, this is the one that I think you in particular, Hans, and definitely Sarge, this should be your first trade, Sarge, not this here. If you'd attempted a first entry there, you'd have lost. Okay? So this is why I say to you, Sarge, don't use the first entry. Let it go back to the flipped down HABB band, and that would have been a perfect one there, and it would have been a nice move. It's showing 74. Oh, no, that's down here, isn't it? Let's have a look. 10. It was about 12, anywhere between 12 and 15. It went down to there from 40 odd. Sarge. Darwin as well. This might be, you were asking about the flip down HAB bands the other day, and this, I think, Darwin, is where you will get your trading done there. bit there. Okay, so that's what we're looking for, right? HA flipped, BB band for your first trade. After that, it's go with the flow. Basically, the labels and the lines will tell you it's go with the flow. Okay, until the next possible turning point. Okay, and at that turning point, right, whether you read it right or not, if you're thinking it's going to turn, then your mindset should be, okay, I'm looking for a flipped HABB band, first trade. All right. You can just go with the flow till you lose, as I've said, and then when you lose, you say to yourself, well, hang on then, is this a turning point? And then you look for the flipped HABB band. Okay, so we'll crack on. I'm just going to go through them and show you. All right. Right, flipped up, pause it there, flipped up 15-minute BB band. Do you, Sarge, see this as a possible turning point? I'm talking to Sarge here, guys, because he's the one that seems to struggle most with when it's going to turn and when it's not. If you do, Sarge, right, then this is not your trade. Right, you want this to hit this, come down, this BB band maybe to flip up, or a HA yellow. Okay, for your first trade. This is not your first trade. This you ignore. You let it do what it wants to do, and then you look for it up. If you want to just keep going with the flow until you lose, and then look for the flipped HABB band, fine, right? So you should be thinking of taking this down from here now, because the line's saying down, the label's saying down. Okay, you had a second move here, basically flipped up HABB band. You got momentum there, so you could have taken that. If you didn't, right, because you weren't sure, fine. If it comes back here, or it breaks this and you get HA yellow, then you can take it. Okay, all right. So we're going to read this. I'm going to read this now as a possible turning point. Sorry about that, guys. It's quite early in the morning here. Possible turning point. Okay, so I want this to come down. I want a HA yellow or momentum. Right, Stephanie, as I was saying, I'm going to crack on, right? As I was saying about this, you should be thinking up here now, right? Okay. But as I was saying about this, Stephanie, now, right, you don't have to use it. After the first trade gets going, you can just use the 5-minute road. Price in between these lines. Right, quick look up. Have I got HA yellow or momentum? Yeah, bang. That's it. You don't need to use it other than that. Okay, right. So again, we'll just crack on. So HA yellow. There we go. That would be your first trade, Sarge. Even you, Stephanie, you know, you'd have seen the HA yellow. If you as I say, if you fancy this as a turning point here, that would be first trade. Right, now, talking about exits hands, you know, that's just flashing once, -5. Ignore it. But if that's constantly flashing hands, that's what I'm saying about get out. You know, it's if it's constantly flashing against you, you get out. Like this one here, you can see massive numbers here. If that was here, then fine. Right, if not, you just ignore it because you think this is your turning point. All right. Right, let's crack on. Right, so you had a winning trade there. Okay, not great, not a lot of momentum. HA yellow, but then, you know, I mean, you would have got. The way you should be looking at this, guys, is you're going to get a good few of these a day if you keep going with the flow. Okay, so you'd be thinking, I don't know, 10 pips, maybe. I'll just look at the GJ here as well. You know, you had this move up, back to the flipped up HABB band. There was your trade. You know, and at the moment, 12 from about 92, should we say? What's that? 20 pips. You know. Okay, so again, it's come down. All right, fine. If you were still fancying this as the turning point, you've had your first trade. You might be in this. You see how it's constantly flashing hands? That's what I'm saying. If you actually took this up here because of the HAL, that's constant. Just get out and wait for it to come down, and wait for momentum to flip your way again. That's what I'm saying, hands. When that's constantly flashing against you, right? If it's just one flash, ignore it. All right, right. Oops. Yeah, see it come down again, Hans. It would have been flashing against you. So then HA yellow appears, momentum again. Okay, mate. You would have been in again. Would you have won again? Oh, 414. Yeah, we'll see if it goes a few more than 14. But again, there would have been empty. You see, empty here would have been taking these down as it happens because of the line. Excuse me, but he only goes for smaller. You know, anywhere between 6 and 8 pips. Sometimes he'll let it run more if mom's continually flashing. Okay, fine, right. If you want to do a set TP, 10 TP, 10 SL, as I show you as we go along, Hans, Sarge, right, you will win a lot more than you lose, but by waiting for that second move, Sergeant Pippa, as your first trade, you know the chances are it's turning. Okay. You know, some days are really, really messy. Other days, you know, pairs are crystal clear, like the GJ and the UJ here. They've got going. They've got going, and look, HJBB band, boom, HJBB band, boom. You know, so if this is not, these are not making sense. Hands, just flick over here, and again, you know, your first one would have been there. 1, 2, 3, 10 pippers there. Easy hands, in fact more, because if you look at that, 79 to 01, that's a 22 pip trade there, Hans. You know, so these definite, absolute, guaranteed free 10 pippers there, mate. Right, again, here, you'll be thinking up here, Hans. Okay, because it turned there, and that was your first trade, that was your second trade. So, HA yellow on momentum, bang, flipped HA BB1, and you just keep going, guys. Okay, you didn't get green momentum, right? You got red, all right? But then you got a HA yellow with green momentum. So again, you could be in that. Okay, and all this stems from the fact that this HA BB band flipped here, right? If you just didn't read this as a possible turning point, this is what it's all about, guys. You see, MT's, the way MT trades now, he's like, I'm not bothered about turning points, I'll just keep going with the line there, right? But some of you, I know Sarge, you in particular, Hans as well, are always constantly thinking about that. Is it turned? Has it turned? I'm not sure if it's turned. Okay, and you know, if that's your mindset, then this is the way you have to go. It has to be flipped HA BB band for your first trade, and it has to be HA yellows and momentum, or flipped HA BB bands after that, like we were showing you there and there as well. Okay. Again, you know, flip down 15-minute BB band here, right? First trade, let this bounce, and then HA yellow or flip down HA BB band for your entry. Okay. Again, we'll just watch this GU as well here. So again, you had a possible winner there. I'm not sure, it wasn't a lot, but you didn't lose anyway with this coming down here, so might still be. And there's that UCAD look. I know you didn't quite see the flip down HA BB band, but look at the second move there. Must have been getting plenty of momentum. And again, guys, look, GJ here, HA yellow, boom. It's just go with the flow. Once they get going, go with the flow. Just keep going with the flow. Okay. Till a possible turning point, or till you lose. You lose a trade, you reanalyze the charts. Okay. That's all you have to do. Running days, oh god, that UCAD was gorgeous. Running days, these are not running markets, you can tell that, guys. Right, running days, You know what to do. Stephanie, you know what to do. Everybody, I think, knows now. On running days, you need these. Okay? You know, and if I can, I'll try and find a quick recording with one on. Right. Yeah, carry on. So again, you would have won that one there on the GU, and all this is before the lines change. You can see the labels change, right? But this is before. I know it's messy. Look at it, guys. It's very, very messy. But because you started trading at the first HA flipped up BB band there, right? You have won something on every one of these trades here. All right. You might even have won that nice trade there. And if you'd have been trading the GJ and the UJ, well, first trade here, 1, 2, 3, really nice trades. First trade there, 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 10 pippers on the UJ. Okay, yep, broke the 4-hour BB band, flipped up 8-hour BB band. Guys, your mindset there should be up, and all you were waiting for was the first HA BB band flip, and after that, bang, 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 killed it. And that's Stephanie, that's the kind of setup that I was talking about here, you know, where you would be adding, instead of just taking 10 pips here, you would be saying, right, okay, this is an 8-hour flipped up BB band. All right, my first trade was the HA flipped up BB band there. So that's first entry, second entry, third entry, fourth entry. Steph, as I say, if you can't use the HA charts, it's all about price coming back into the road on the 5-minute time frame. Look, gets back in here, it's just a matter of momentum, darling. So you don't need to be looking here constantly. It's just your first trade. You want it here on the flipped up HABB band. Okay, darling. Darwin, you as well. Something like this, mate. You know, if you just wait for that first flipped HABB band, Darwin, this is where you will do, you know, when we're talking about whether you do your compounding as the way you normally do it, or as a Jasmine, then this is the kind of thing, Darwin, you know, that you should be get back to, mate, because, you know, this, when you were doing these Darwins before, compounder before, you were absolutely smashing it. You were ultra confident. You were up to $100 a pip, I remember, at one point. And I think, you know, you've just been dragged away from it by everything else that's going on, right? And if you get back to that, Darwin, I'm pretty sure that you will get back on track, mate, and make a success of this. Right. Okay, so let's again, I'm trying to make this a smaller video, guys. There goes GU again. Look, back in, bang. So once this had turned, or once you thought this had turned here, Sarge, the 5-minute yellows, that was your first trade. Second, third, fourth, fifth, Sergeant Pippa. All very, very safe, and, right, admittedly, because it was messy, right, and I took a long time to get going, it was against the cut, the line change. Don't forget, Sarge, this has been tweaked by MT. Okay, it's a little different now, alright, but the HA box was with you, and you can see things are starting to turn. Now this one's thinking, it's thinking about going up. Okay, this one's turned down. The lines change colour here because of that big move. Okay, but because, Sarge, your first trade, as I said, is a flipped up HABB band and not the 5-minute yellow there, you understand? This coming down here, you wouldn't have lost. Alright, your trades would have been successful. Whoa. Anyway, I'll move on a bit. And another one there, look, HA on the line, which is changing now. HA yellow, bam. Another one here, HA BB band. Yellow's late, but momentum is there. Look, in the road, guys, in the road. Okay, these are the ones to take. See this one here, this 5-minute, I'll pause it there. This is a great example of what I'm trying to say here. It's not in between these lines here. You see it, this little red candle here. That's it there. It's in the middle of nowhere. That's the one to avoid. Like that one there. Avoid that. Okay. That is the one to avoid. You get in the road or on the HA BB bands or on the HA line, usually they'll win. Okay. The ones where they're not in the road, in between the BB bands here, just leave it, because that generally happens. Wants to get back in to the road. Okay. Right. Okay. Quick look at the GJ before we go any further. You think broken flip down 1 hour BB one, you think it's possibly changed there. You've got a 15-minute blue, right? Okay, so you have a choice there. This is where to say your choice is now. This is go with the flow till it loses, because everything is still saying up, right? If you're scalping, you know, the 5 minute, the HA labels are still up, the lines are still green, you know, so take it. If it loses, watch for the HA BB band flipping down. Okay? I mean, it's already, what, 8 pips up. You know, that's the thing with a GJ, it does give a lot. And there you go, you see? So you would have won. You would have won that trade, guys. Oh my God, look at this. Guys, look at it. Oh, gee, look at that one. You understand, guys? And I know some days are a bit messy and you might lose a couple of trades, but if you win 4 or 5 and you lose 1 or 2 trades going with a flow, you still, you know, 20 or 30, maybe 40 pips, maybe more up. Okay, and at the end of the week, you know, you'll have some really great days over when it's crystal clear, by the way, which direction it's going, right? And other days you might get these scrappy days where you just scrape together 20, 30 pips, right? But again, you know, if you're just going to use the first flip as your starting trade, instead of trying to risk that, even yesterday after session, there were, even though it's slow, really slow, right, there were some Roxy's flipped 5 minute BB bands, right? And I think I pointed out a couple where it was still a flipped HA BB band as well for the trade to get going. Okay, you know, so bear that in mind. The first place a flipped BB band will happen is on the lowest time frame here. The next time it will be on the 5 minute. You know, as you get, if you get really strong running trends, like if you can see on the GU here, look, this is a first flip 15-minute BB band, and eventually look at the move. First flip 15-minute BB band there, look, bang. But all these moves started here. Okay, right, okay, so anyway, we'll quickly crack on and then I'll jump to one more one more record and see if I can find a nice running one. But again, look here, GJ, look, back in the road here, bang, look, just go with the flow till you lose, and then look for the flip down HA BB band. That's all it means. Again, okay, you're on the HA BB band here, so that would have been okay, even though it's just short of the road. And the GU here, look, in the road, boom, nice. Flips up HA BB band as well. Alright. Another one there. Look, just go with the flow. Now it's got going, and remember that mess here? But it all started, Sarge, with a flipped up HA BB band. Okay. Bang. And again, Stephanie, you know, you might have taken one on the first flip and then waited and waited and waited and waited until you got a higher price to take your second entry, which might have been there. Second entry, Steph. Third entry, fourth entry, 5-minute yellow outside 1 hour BB band. Still plenty of mom flips on your here. Steph, you might close it. Your 4 entries then for whatever amount of pips you made. It was like a 40 pip move, so you'd have had one at around about 40, Steph, and one at 30 maybe, one at 20, one at 10 maybe, you know. Yeah, okay. Quickly, come on. And again, you know, look, down, down, down. Look, everything saying down. Everything saying down. GU, everything now. Up, and look. Alright, and again, that all comes from a possible 15-minute flipped up starting point. You weren't sure, Sarge, so you started with a flipped HABB band, and look how many trades you would have smashed here. Just going with a flow, Sergeant Pippa's hands. And again, hands, you know, if you'd have just been thinking, well, okay, I'll just take a couple of these and then go into demo, you know, the fact is you still won your live trades and then been winning your demo trades as well. Again, back in the road bump. It's just amazing how many times go with the flow just continues when you think it's going to change. And if you take the thought process of that out of the equation, right, so you think it's going to turn, so you just say to yourself, well, it doesn't matter if it's turned, if it's going to turn or not, because the first trade I'll be taking is a flipped HABB band. When it has turned, you know, then you're not going to be thinking about, oh, should I reverse it? You just wait and wait and wait. You know, like this. Great. Let's go back a couple of minutes here. Oops. Great example there on the GU. Right. You had this in. There. Right. That move there. Second move. Flipped down HABB one. So, okay. You might have lost this trade here. Right. But then you're thinking down then. Because you think it might turn. Pulls back here just above the orange line. Bang. Okay, not on the HABB one. Not sure if you had a yellow. You got momentum. Flipped HABB band here. Possible turning point. Okay, this one. Yeah, I think that's flipped down. Gone sideways a lot. You would have had it here. Yeah, definitely. Alright, anyway, we'll flick through big time and see if it did. No, look. See, go with the flow. Just carried on. Just carried on. So you would have lost a trade there. Fine, accept it, move on. All right. If you did think it was turning, if you did follow it as the turning point, okay. After session, this is what I mean about the 5-minute BB1. So flip 5-minute BB1, boom. Okay. Flip down 5-minute BB1, boom. All right. Again, flip down 5-minute BB1 here. Let's see. No, not much. No, flow just continued again. Yeah, so, you know, it's not hard to do, guys. Oh, God, look at that one. Oh, that was gorgeous, that. And there's your first UCAD trade back. Look, so it flipped up HABB on there. Look, this one turned here. See it? Big move down there. Big pullback in the road. HABB band, flip down here. Bang. There. You got that as well. Same there. Okay, so that is you know, basically all it is, Sarge. If you, Hans, Stephanie, I know Stephanie, you're not too happy with the HA charts, but it's just a turning point. You just look for that flipped HABB band, Stephanie, and then basically, you know, after that, once the move's got going, it's get price back in the road, and it's all about momentum. Then once you get in that 5-minute road, it's all about momentum. All right, and as I say, darling, because of the way you trade, I think you know, 3 or 4 trades per direction, you could probably do an up and a down every day, and it all starts, Stephanie, with that HA flipped BB band. Okay, I did say we'll try and look for a runner, didn't we? Now then, I can't remember. With I think this was that Wednesday after that crazy Tuesday. Right, so what I wanted to show you was the 2 rules in action. Look at the GJ. Look at this. Unbelievable. Was this that? You know, really strong. All right, so go with the flow. That's all it is. It's go with the flow. Oops. Until I just flip through. This is all I'm doing. Trying to. I think this is the recording anyway, guys. Look, it's just bang, bang. Everything's saying down on the GG. Absolutely everything. You shouldn't be even thinking GU's messy. BT setup's working now. Look. Bang, down. 15 blue. That's a BT candle for me. Look at it. And then bang, down. 15 blue, BT candle. Okay, broke it here. 15 blue, BT candle. Bang, up. Alright, but go with the flow. These 2. All we're looking for is the 2 rules. It's just go with the flow. You just keep going with the flow until the 2 rules are in play. And first of all, you need a golden ticket number 1, which is get a golden ticket setup, rule 1. Okay, and then you need rule 2. And I look again, how many times you know, people, this Sarge and Darwin here would be getting destroyed trying to take this up, you know, against this. And if you just wait for them 2 rules. And I think it's here. There it is. 2 rules closing above the 15-minute orange line. You've got a golden ticket set up in. You've even got a 15-minute white. Right. Okay, now you need your pullback. Again, you'll be looking for HA. So we're gonna go nice and slow on this one till we get to that HA. Right, we're on. I think I called this one. I'm pretty sure this is the one I called in the room here. And I think Darwin smashed this one now. Okay, look, 2 rules in play. Closed above, pull back. Look at it. Look at Stephanie. Look, you know, even if you don't want to be looking there, look what it is here. Momentum. There's your entry. Boom. Boom. Yeah, this is the one that I called. I'm not sure. I think that's MT pointing that out, but I did call this one. There we go. Look, Stephanie. Darwin, you nailed this one. Absolutely perfectly, mate. I don't think you knew at the time that the 2 rules were in play, but they were, and it was, you know, this is what I mean about the 2 rules. Right, now just watch. Oh my god, dragon singing. Okay, no. Sorry, guys. Right, where are we? Just hang on a minute. Right, sorry about that, guys. Right, where was I? Yeah, so 2 rules again. Look here now. Right, and I'm just going to flip quickly through this. It all started again with a flipped up HABB band there. But because it was a strong runner, 2 rules were in play. Guys, I'm just going to flip to the end of this, right? Because what this is a daily BB band break, right? Look what it did after that. Look, it's just unbelievable. And all you did was wait for the 2 rules. Okay, and this actually goes to here. And tomorrow, it tanks again. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. So, you know, very shortish video, but I hope you can just understand now that if you just wait for that first flip, BB band, Sergeant Pippa, you in particular, it's been your bane for as long as you've been here, is knowing when to reverse. Okay, and if you can just get your head around this, Sarge, because it's not that hard. You don't have to think about everything, right? Like when you come up and you do a big analysis, right? There's too much information there. It's playing with your head, right? Just think possible turning point, and then, okay, first trade, flipped HABB band. Okay, that's all you have to think. And after that, Sarge, is go with the flow until possible turning point, or till you lose a trade. Then you just analyze again and say, well, is it a turning point or not? If it's not, you continue to go with the flow and just accept that loss. Okay, mate. Stephanie, as I say, darling, you don't have to use the HA BB bands, but just look for that flipped HA BB band for the first trade, Stephanie. After that, you know, you can just look at the 5-minute time frame. Hans, if you want to continue using the 15-minute time frame, no problem, mate. Right? You know what the BT candle is, right? You've got the BT candle, and then flipped HA BB band, mate. That's it. At the turning point's hands. After that, it's just continue to go with the flow until the next possible turning point, which, you know, will be a flipped 15-minute BB band, or might be a 15-minute blue because you're outside the 1-hour BB bands. It tends to condense in after session for you guys that are trading the after session. Watch for the flipped 5-minute BB bands. The first flipped. You have what you call it, a process when price is reversing. Okay, right. The first flip will be on the HA BB band. The second flip will be on the 5-minute BB band. The third, if it's going to be a strong run, will be on the 15-minute BB band. And if that then it turns into a trend or a really, really strong bias, you will notice 1 hour. And that is when the LTs come into it, right? If you want to do LT trading, look for 1 hour flip down BB band for an entry. Or, you know, you're turning around a really, 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 really strong trend, look for a 4-hour flip down or flipped up BB band. Okay, that's it. That is it, guys. That is the whole process of trading. And, you know, if you can get your head around that, that's very simple fact of price reversing from flip downs, from flipped BB bands, then you should be able to trade this system very, very easy. As I say, MT's put lines on, he's put HA boxes on. They're the important ones for me, guys, on for scalping. It's the HA and the 5-minute. Okay, if you're going to do longer term trades, it's the 5-minute and the 15. And if you want to do the LT trades like Lambo, then, you know, I'm not so sure the labels will help in that respect, but he knows all about flipped BB bands. Okay. All right, guys. I'll get this off to MT now. You should have it for today. Okay.